Well, hello, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of my favorite series, the Talented Learning Executive Briefing and Demonstration Series. I'm John Lay. I'm the founder of Talented Learning. And in this series, we go around the world virtually and we look at the very best solutions. And today's no different. We're here with Cornerstone. That's a name that everybody knows in the industry. And I've been trying for years and years. Finally here today. And I know everybody is excited to see this as I am. So with that intro, Jen, Jonathan, it's all yours. Tell us everything we have to know about your organization, who it is you sell to, what it is that you do, and show us all the cool stuff. It's all yours.
Thanks, John. We are excited to be here, and I thank you so much for having us on your show. I want to talk to you first about Cornerstone. We are one of the largest organizations in talent and development, and we have over 7,000 global customers, ranging from small, medium to enterprise. Today, I'm excited to talk to you about Cornerstone Galaxy and how we help organizations thrive in the face of change. It all starts with our mission, our purpose at Cornerstone, which is to power the potential of people and organizations, because we believe that when people are at their best, the organization's at its best. But unprecedented global shifts are making it difficult for your people and your organization to cope with change. Things like the way we work, uh, massive challenges caused by demographic shifts, and even the explosion of data have made it more difficult for organizations to understand the skills they have and adapt quickly to change. And let's talk about that pace of change. The ability to adapt to change is out of sync with the pace of change. And organizations are having challenges understanding the skills they have, the skills they need, and they don't have enough visibility into workforce data to be able to pivot and adapt to change as it's coming at them. We call that difference the workforce readiness gap, and it is what's paralyzing businesses today. So we've introduced Cornerstone Galaxy. Galaxy is the complete AI powered workforce agility platform that builds high performing, future ready people and organizations. With Galaxy, we've combined self directed learning with people development and robust talent intelligence, and it's all powered by AI, workforce data, and skills. And I'm going to turn it over to Jonathan. He's going to walk you through Galaxy and give you a little bit more detail as he's taking you through the demo of our system.
I think the important thing to start out with is we're going to take a little journey through a number of the elements of the system. And we're going to look how the system really serves the needs of the people and the business. And we're going to focus on that workforce agility in action. So one of the places I want to begin is on this landing page. And very simply, this is a highly configurable landing page with many little modules that can make a very simple entry into the learning experience for the employee. And you can see I've got quite a few elements here. I've got a profile. We'll look at that. Updates. We can see in progress and assigned learning. We can see feeds. We can also see upcoming meetings where I could do one-on-one check-ins with my subordinates, and even suggested projects and vacancies and next career milestones. So all of this is configurable for the organization, and it can be delivering a very personalized experience. But as Jen alluded to about skills, one of the first things we want to do related to skills is basically update our profile. We can upload a resume in here, as I have done, and our technology and AI will scan the resume and look for the skills that are there. Next, I can go in and it identifies the skills that I have. I can place those into suggested skills into various levels like novice, beginner, intermediate. And then I can also go and highlight the skills that I want to develop. And by doing this, I'm starting to inform the AI and machine learning inside the system so it knows me and it's going to deliver recommendations for me that are relevant. And on top of that, I can even set my career preferences. So again, very simple profile gets updated in the system. And because we are focused on skills, we all know that skills need to live where they're actionable. And that means in a learning system like this. They also, we have to remember, organizations, that skills are not a destination, they're a journey. We're always updating our skills, and we want the technology to work for us in that sense of the word. So when I go to my profile, just to confirm everything that's there, I can see the overview of my experience. I can see my certifications and credentials and the skills associated with those. I can see badges that I've earned and interests and activities and so forth. So a holistic profile that also includes my skills. When we look at my skills, we're going to look at a couple areas here. So my skills are divided into what we call critical skills. And critical skills are those that are identified by the organization as being important. Maybe it's because of my job role, what have you. And I can look at my skill proficiencies. I can see the skills that I am developing. I can see the skills I have declared and what level of proficiency I have with those and how I've been rated. I can also come in and rate my proficiency and select my proficiency level if I'd like to. And also I can allow other people to rate my proficiency as well. So these critical skills, though, are the ones I'm really working hard. You can see that I have met my target on some, below target in others. And the system will actually track your success and movement in the developing those skills over time. Since I only started doing this back in October, we don't see much of a change, but over time, I'm going to be able to see how I'm developing. Now, when we think about the skills, we need to remember that they are driving the AI machine learning that is being delivered to me, the content, the resources, and information. And one of the things we want to give thought to, and I'll totally credit an existing customer for this term, I was posed the question, how can we help our employees understand how they can grow and where they can go? And when you think about that, that's a very powerful statement from one of our existing customers. And one of the reasons they wanted to do that is they were, experience a lot of turnover, things like that. And people would leave and go to the competitors and so forth. So we have developed Talent Marketplace to help answer that question. How can I grow and where can I go? So I can look at my current position inside the system through our career exploration area here. And here it places me as a user in the center. And it looks at my skills and begins to make recommendations of potential job roles that I might be able to take advantage of. And in this case, you see two that are marked aspirational. So as I click into that, I can click in and see how I match with that particular role, if that's what I want to do. Or I can just go to the role and see what the description is. And as I see the description, this is what the job role is all about. I can see I have multiple career paths to get there. So the system will identify those career paths for you and will recommend opportunities for growth and development. In this case, it's recommending courses, projects, mentors, resources that can help me figure out how I can grow so eventually I can go. And I can also take a more circuitous route, perhaps. Maybe I'm going to go through business development. All these recommendations then get rewritten. And I can see that as I come down here, different job roles, different mentors. There's the next level up. So again, I can find those resources that are relevant to me that will help me develop. And of course, I can grow my skills. And doing that allows me to look at things like projects that are based on my job role that will help me out. and maybe even recommend some mentors depending on where I'm going. So Talent Marketplace gives us the ability to access those resources that are related to the career direction that we want to go. Now, when we think about learning and development in organizations today, we are always familiar with the 70-20-10 model. And one of the best kind of learning out there is learning from experience. So the Talent Marketplace capabilities in our system allows us to look at projects that can be recommended to me based on my job role. And if I am a kind of person who also is a manager, for example, I can look at, I can create projects. I can look at the projects that are owned by me. I can look at the ones that are in draft. And I can engage with my fellow employees, as the case may be. On top of that, we can set up mentorships. And the system will find mentors for you based on your job role. But I can also find mentors. I can filter by area. I can sort by relevance. And I can have a mentor profile as well. So in this case, I have a mentor profile. There are similar mentors like me. I can also link into other places. For example, I have a Calendly link that allows people to set an appointment with me and find a date so we can talk about that mentoring experience. So the ability of our system to be interactive with other systems is really a powerful component, what's available. Okay. Now, because I am wearing the manager hat today, I think it would be also important to highlight the fact that there is a manager dashboard. And the manager dashboard allows me as a manager to see how my people are doing and see where they are in their training and also their development. So I can collectively look at my team. I can see who the highest active individuals are. And I can also look at a skill matrix here for my team members. So these are my team members here, and I can see where they are on their key skills. For example, I can see here that Judy Bright, I'm going to look at her skill detail, and I can see where she is. I can also look at the ratings that Judy has. And we can see that Judy rated herself as an expert and I as her manager, not quite there. So that might be a good point of discussion between me and Judy is she know something I don't know, or do I know something she doesn't know? So this allows us to interact and engage with our team members. And of course, I can also look more directly at Judy and see her learning hours and assignments and where she's at in all her skills. Now, the other thing we want to give thought to is, do you know where the talent lies in your organization? If I ask you today who your best C++ programmer was, would you be able to tell me that? Who has those skills? Most organizations have some sort of a succession planning idea in their mind, but that's usually a top-down approach. Well, inside our platform, one of the things we can look at is talent sourcing. And talent sourcing is a way to look at the job vacancies that exist in your organization that are aligned to this platform. And we can drill into a particular opening. We can see the link to jobs. We can see the related skills for that opening. And we can see that the system has used the AI machine learning to match people with the right skills and right background to fill that role. Now, I can come in and I can see I have quite a few people with excellent skill matching. I can shortlist people. So I have a short list here of 2 people, like my friend Darren. And I can expand his profile. And when I do that, I can see the role he's at, where he wants to aspire to be. He's aspiring to be a VP. We can see his career preferences, how he wants to work. We can see the skills that he has, the matching skills, the ones that are near target, and even skills that are detected that he may not have identified, but were detected in his resume and his experience. And we can see his work history over here as well. So I have this rich data that I can utilize. So maybe, for example, I'll want to send him a note, or maybe I'll want to simply send a note to his manager and invite him to apply for this job. So this is what I like to say is kind of bottom-up succession, allowing organizations to see the skills they have across their entire enterprise. Now, when we think about skills, when we think about all the information that's inside the system, we have to think about data as well. And I'll tell you that everything I've shared with you so far is not worth a nickel if you can't get data out of the system. We have multiple ways of providing reporting and analytics within the platform. So our platform analytics gives you basically insight to all actions that have been going on. For example, we have user analytics, how they're working. We have group analytics, search analytics. What are people searching for? Or even things like content analytics. If you're licensing content from a third party, perhaps you would like to know what content is being used, how it's being used. Is it being, what is the top source of content? And these are the resources that make a difference. And all this data can be exported out as well, should you have your own BI tool that you want to use. But gaining insight into things like skills, who has what skills? What are the self-declared skills? What skills are developing on a regular basis? Are we seeing a growth in skills? All of these elements give you that deep insight that you need in order to be a highly functioning organization. And it's insight that most organizations do not have today. Now, when we think about learning and development, and let me shift gears again for just a moment, we also want to think about the fact that we can create content within this system. So user-generated content is some of the most popular content organizations use, besides licensing content, because it could be very specific to the company. If you're given the appropriate, let's say appropriate permissions, you can create content within the system. And we utilize learning pathways. We also utilize something called Cornerstone Companion. This is the AI built into the system. And I can say something like project management. And I can use Companion to rewrite it for me. So the AI is looking at that and has given me a much better title than what I came up with. But now it's also ready to create a description for me for this pathway. And I can look at that. I can edit that as I see fit. And also it will automatically write the tags to make it easier to find. On top of this, as I continue to build this out, it will recommend content for me so that I don't have to do a lot of heavy lifting. Now, where does that content come from? That can be your content. It can also be our content. So let's talk briefly about Content Studio. So as I'm sure many of you are aware, Cornerstone has a large selection of content, both created by Cornerstone, award-winning content from Cornerstone Studios, but we also curate the best of the best with many partners out there. Content Studio is a part of this environment. And what it allows us to do is to look at the subscriptions that are available, that may be the ones you're subscribing to. And you can look at collections. For example, we could look at something like Modern Compliance. And when I click into that, I can see there's 4,474 courses that are there. I can see the different topics, the modalities. And I can do a quick view on any of these just to see what they look like. And I can launch them. And we can also see how many learners have been assigned across the enterprise. How many are using it from a self-directed point of view, which skills are aligned, which topics, and which languages, and you, of course, can launch the course. So very easy for someone to find content. This system also allows you to add your own content. So let's assume for a moment you have a large library of documents sitting in SharePoint. You can connect those documents and import them into this environment, and that becomes part of your curation. And you can see here, I did a quick search on how do I improve my team engagement. I use natural language query, and you can see that I have been delivered 186 courses on connecting with my team as a leader. Now, I can also do my own curation as well. I can see curated collections that are out there that can be pushed out to the system, but I can also create my own. And just like we did a moment ago, I could say, in this case, sales management, and I can use companion, and it will make a nice suggestion for me. I'll pick one of those, and I can also come back, and the companion is going to do the description for me. And it will also recommend content from the overall content library, which takes a lot of heavy lifting off my shoulders if I'm wearing the administrator hat. So as we think about this, we think about how we are going to ultimately impact the people in your organization. This technology needs to be agile, which hopefully you've seen that it is. And you as an organization need to be agile because your world is changing and the people are changing, the jobs are changing, the skills are changing. And so as we consider this, we need to remember that everything is a moving target for organizations. We can't be static. We have to adapt. We have to change. We have to address the needs of the people and deliver the experience for them that's meaningful and relevant.
Awesome. Well, that's great. I haven't seen an update in quite a bit, but it's nice to see how you're bringing all the pieces together into Galaxy, from the skills and the content and the mentoring and all the traditional learning management pieces, and really bringing that all together. Love to see the AI pieces, of course, throughout all of that, just to click here, click there to streamline things. But I think probably the most important thing, I think organizations, or at least my take on it, one of the most important things is just being able to manage this workforce readiness. Nobody has the skills that they need in their organization. There's only two places you can get them, from the outside or to grow them, and it's a lot easier to grow them over time. But the problem is that even though organizations want to do that, they're not facilitated. They're not really enabled to be able to look at all those skills, to look at it from a tops up or bottoms down or whatever. Both ways of that. For the individual looking to see how they want to progress with your concentric circles, and how they want to grow, almost like Google Maps. That was cool too. I went path A or path 2 or path B on the way to get here. But then the flip side is, the organization needs to pull skilled and people forward, into these positions when they have them. And so it's really cool to be able to look holistically, no matter what point of view you're looking at inside the organization.
Well, thank you so much for taking the time to look at our solution. And we are here to answer any questions you or any of your viewers have.
All right. Well, thanks very much for stopping by to our executive briefing demonstration series. It's great to finally to see your solution up front. And I'm so thousands of people are going to be super jazzed to take a look at this. Anybody that's struggling with skill and competency management, or really that workforce readiness gap, is going to find this interesting. And so thanks very much. In the description, listeners, we got a link to Cornerstone, so you can go there, you can get more information, You can come see their profile here on Talented Learning, where we've got a lot of independent information about the solution that you can use to gather and help make your decision. So, with all that being said, thanks everyone for attending, and we hope to see you on the next. Have a great day. Thank you.
Thanks. Bye.